stupid again, and I absolutely love it. Dude, currently Super Sister has no idea. Well, until now. I'm betting she's gonna kill me in about 5 minutes. There we go. Got another one. Former little dirt is over there, but now he has a brother. Or maybe a sister. Tere! I got a box of cookies. Dude, this was totally worth it. We got a new tractor plus some cookies. You can't even compare it to that guy. This thing is way bigger. I mean, it looks the same basically, but it's actually a different model, yeah. Back here, everything looks pretty much the same. Yeah. So guys, you're probably wondering, what the hell? Why did I get the second one? Well, for starters, it's not the same tractor. Not the same as that tractor. It's actually a different model, like I mentioned. That one is called K701, and that one is called K700A. So a different model, but basically the same thing. But there are a couple of quite noticeable differences between the two. And for starters, Yeah, for starters, mine doesn't have any bird nests on it currently, but we'll fix that later. In other news though, this thing has a V12 engine, a V12 naturally aspirated diesel engine. Displacement is 22 liters. Fuel consumption roughly 40 liters per hour. Man, that was quite a mouthful. I need more cookies. But, you know, basically what that means is this engine consumes more fuel than Port Joseph over there. Yeah, that guy roughly clocks out around 30-35 liters per hour. This is 40, and the Model A is roughly 30. So that's like the weakest link in the family at the moment. Now the reason why I wanted to buy, actually we have several of them. Number A, like I mentioned, it's a different model, and I really wanted to get this one. I mean, a V12 engine, bro. What else do you need? That's like the best present ever. Or yeah, present. Let's go with present. So yeah, I always dreamed about having this model actually. I was pretty sure I'm gonna get it eventually, but I wasn't planning to get it right now. Now the reason I got it right now, I will get to that in a bit. But what other differences? What other reasons? Well, I guess backup. You know, if something happens to the other guy, then we have a machine that can do the backup chores. And I guess the price. You will never believe what I paid for this. Hands down, you will never guess it. For example, for that one, I paid 5 grand. What do you think I paid for that thing? And keep in mind the condition of this tractor is roughly 10 times better than what we have there. Maybe even more than 10. And from the top of my head, what the guy told me, we can quickly go over the improvements on this machine. So for starters, we have that bigger engine. Roughly 300 horsepower. So that's a plus definitely. The wheels are actually made in Russia, not USSR. So they don't have any cracks, although they're pretty worn. Kind of unevenly, honestly. But you know, no cracks in the wheels. That's actually a very good thing. I mean, if we go over, watch the wheels on that machine. I mean, cracks, cuts, whatever is that, deep cracks. You know, the situation is not much different on the other side. And keep this in mind, one wheel is about $1 grand plus tax. And that's just the wheel. You also need to pay for the chains. I'm guessing that's like $500 at least, off the top of my head. Third reason I would say is, I guess that's pretty common, but these cylinders have been changed out. So these are not original cylinders for this machine. And the guy told me that they put brand new cylinders here, maybe like a couple of years ago. So that's actually a very good plus. Also the joints, the center pins, much better than what I have on the other tractor. I mean, the other tractor is like a roller coaster. Basically, if you go over like a little jump, you feel like the tractor is gonna break in half because there's just so much play in that center pin, the upper one in particular. But this, although you can feel that play, it's still a lot better. Can't even compare that wear to that. Now inside the cab, there are also quite noticeable differences between the two. Hence why the different model name. It has different purposes. Well, it had different purposes. Now the purpose of this tractor currently is not present, but basically it's a loader. It's like a front end loader, but basically this one is like a rear end loader. Now instead of the 3-point hitch system, what we have right there at the moment, it's supposed to have a loader on it. But at some point it was taken off and replaced with this. Now the place where I got it, the place where I bought this tractor, they have that loader, and I may be able to get it as well. Negotiations are currently somewhere in the middle, and I actually might get that loader part also, but when, currently not sure. Hopefully we'll get it. So I went to visibly see and touch that loader. That thing is just huge. It's just basically like a huge block of metal that goes on this machine. So because this is a loader, that's why the wheel is on this side. On the other tractor, the wheel is actually there, so it's completely different. Right now you're kind of facing that end instead of that end. Also, operating this tractor much easier. Now for starters, the guy told me that everything, basically the pump and power steering system, had been changed out at some point. Dude, when I was driving this thing back, or I mean down the hill, it was so easy to turn the freaking wheel. It basically like pinky fingered the wheel. It was so easy, and the turning motion, it was extremely smooth. There was no clunkiness, none of that BS going on. It was just super smooth. Now, for example, if I turn with that tractor, it's just so bad. It's not smooth at all. It's like you kind of feel the explosions going on somewhere downstairs. There's just not, there is no smoothness in there whatsoever. It's just very bad. I don't know. It still turns fine, but yeah, it's just so bad. Now, another good thing this tractor actually has is the gear levers, or levers in general. As you can see, there's much less of them here. I mean, how many can we count? Just quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 levers. We're missing 1 over there. But basically we have like 7 levers on this tractor. Let's go check out the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh. Oh, we're missing 1 right over there. But I don't know what that does. So basically 9. It's like 2 more than what that has. I guess not that much, but still. You know, operating this thing much harder, because you need to switch a lot of different levers in order to actually get moving. On that thing, it's a lot easier. You just kind of put in the gear, the main gear, and then off you go. It's a bit more complex here. I think the guy kind of pointed out a lot of more things which is better on this machine. I mean, the body parts, definitely. The body itself is just a lot better. There's like very minimal rust. There's nothing really bent up that badly. Everything is relatively smooth. Yeah. Oh, it even has one of those hooks. Look at that. Still there. The other one is missing though. I don't know why. Looks like it's like a very weak thing on these tractors overall. So you just kind of rip them off the frame. I mean, that one over there is missing both of them. This one still has one. But I guess it's like a weak design. I mean, there's not much thickness in that wall over there, like 5-6 millimeters maybe. You're just gonna rip that hook off if this tractor is in deep dew. But dude, the under garage looks really nice. Let me check this out. Actually, everything looks pretty solid. Much better than what I have. Much better than what I have. Okay, that's interesting. Take note of the color. That's red, but the gearbox is yellow. Maybe at some point the gearbox was changed out. Just a wild guess at the moment. And currently it has water in it, I think. Yeah, the water. We need to. I'm gonna swap that out with some proper coolant. I'm not a water dude. That's actually important. Oh, yeah, one negative thing about this tractor so far. The parking brake on it has been removed, but they were not sure for what reason. Maybe it was broken. And some modifications have been made to the gearbox overall. He did explain in detail, but I couldn't really follow along, honestly. It had something to do with that lever, something to do with gearbox braking. So maybe that's why the parking brake was removed. And the sucky thing is that because this is a hydrostatic gearbox, it has a hydrostatic gearbox, then you can't really put the parking brake on when the engine is not running. It will just kind of start rolling away. So you need to put some blocks in front of the wheels and park it always on a level surface. You can't park it on a steep slope. I mean, if it's running, then we have that gearbox brake, which actually works pretty good. Then you can leave that gearbox brake on and the tractor is not going to roll away. But if it's not running, then you basically have to keep that in mind. No parking brake on this machine at the moment. And everything here looks pretty solid. We have the end caps nicely. This 3-point hitch actually looks pretty nice. Nothing spent on it. Oh, wow. You guys remember when I did that video about repairing the 3-point hitch on the Kirovets? But now that I have this tractor, and like I said, I want to put a loader on it eventually, then that means this 3-point hitch is gonna be left over. I could have used these parts instead. But then again, while I was doing that work, I had no idea I'm gonna buy a 701 anytime soon. I never really... well, I always thought that before I buy a 701, I wanna fix up the 700. But you know, this just kind of happened. So guys, what do you think? What I paid for it? After we went through that detailed analysis, 5 grand for that. How much did I pay for this? I only paid 2.5 grand for it. About the same what I paid for the old Blue. That was 2.4 grand. We got this tractor for 2.5 grand out of pocket. Frankly, I think I kind of stole it, honestly. Just for the record, I did not steal anything. Money was paid. So basically how it went down, pretty easy. Now Steve, well, if it wasn't for Steve, then I wouldn't have this tractor right now. So let's keep that in mind. Steve is very important in this equation. So Steve always scours the interwebs, you know, looking at marketplace listings and other sites, basically where they sell heavy equipment and stuff like that. So this machine came up on sale and they just wanted scrap value for it. Even in the post it said selling K701 for scrap value, a working tractor for scrap value. And Steve sent me the link. I immediately called the guy and set everything up. But I had some issues with transport, you know, organizing transport for it. By the way, I did everything in like less than 48 hours. From the calling of the guy to the tractor being here. So it's basically been less than 48 hours. So I acted as fast as physically basically possible. Now, because I was basically like the first caller for this thing, the guy, how do you say it? Put my name on the deed temporarily until I paid the money, right? But afterwards, during the 48-hour period, the guy told me that he got like 20, 30 something phone calls and much more emails that wanted to just come immediately pick up the machine, even from Lithuania. I mean, like 700, 800 miles away. He got calls from everywhere, just non-stop. Everyone wanted to buy this thing, and they even over-offered what I wanted to pay for it. I think he told me that some people offered like 4 grand, 4.5 grand, but because, you know, the seller was honest, And by the way, I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch this video as well, because I'm gonna send him the link. Because he was being honest, he kept it for me. So that was really nice of him. I mean, basically the guy lost out about $1,500, but that's I guess honest life, right? Very good job, Mr. Guy. You know, basically the place which sold me this machine, they're like it's not a single guy actually. It's actually a huge farm. They mostly deal in farming, you know, wheat and stuff. Plus they have like 1,000 plus livestock, cows making milk, stuff like that. It's basically a very huge farming business. And they had 3 Kirovets on their farm. They sold one for 10 grand, but that thing looked like brand new almost. And then they had this, and right now they still have one more, but they're not going to sell that because they actually use it to some degree. And also that one looks like brand new. The guy took me to take a little look at it. That thing looked amazing, hands down. Like if it rolled out of the factory or something. That looks so nice. So I guess that's why, one of the reasons they didn't want to sell it to anyone else, because they wanted to keep their word. And also they don't really care about like 1 grand or 2 grand. Those are very small numbers for a farm that size. But still, I'm very thankful that they get this for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell it ever. I don't sell my machines, guys. I'm just gonna keep them until I die, and then someone else will deal with them. I'm just gonna try to make them good and just kind of try to preserve them, I guess. Paint job, stuff like that. Now that guy over there still needs huge amounts of work in order for the paint job to even begin. But you know, honestly, this guy, I think we can just kind of skip to the paint job. I mean, everything on it works. I do have a little dent in there, but pretty sure we can buff that out. Right now, currently everything on the thing works. Well, there was one problem. He told me that one of the gears doesn't quite work. Basically, as I understand, this is the main gear lever. I'm just gonna push that in so it's in gear, and this is the same thing that I have on the other tractor, which is like a long stick, and you select speeds. But instead of needing to change the main lever anywhere, you just kind of go forward, 2 gears forward, and we have 2 gears backward. So that's the main difference between this and the other tractor. In the center we have neutral, then we have forward, 2 speeds, neutral, 2 speeds backwards. But the problem is that he told me one of the backward gears doesn't work. Although the pressure and everything is superb, the gear just doesn't engage. If you put it in, then the tractor doesn't just move, just like nothing. Basically, he told me that a while back they took the gearbox apart, but while putting it back together, they maybe forgot something. And that's why it doesn't work anymore. But dude, still, this is much easier to drive than the other thing. I mean, you just put the gear in, off you go. Oh, and also this is apparently some type of a gearbox brake lever, but currently I'm not really sure how it operates. I mean, the guy told me like put it there, but then again I can't put that in. They're gonna conflict with each other. I tried to put it like there, but then it didn't do anything. So I still need to kind of figure out what is this, how does this function, where does it need to be. I think it's, if it's there, then the gear brake is on and the tractor doesn't move. But no, we'll figure that part out. Shouldn't be that hard. Now comparing this to the other tractor, this is like 10 times easier to drive. Now in order to get this going, first you have to select which way you want to go. So that's forward 1, that's forward 2, and oh, don't touch that. Go there, stay there, and that's reverse 1. So reverse only 1 speed, but forward we have 2 speeds. So we just have to pick something. Right, let's say we wanna go slowly. We're gonna go with forward 1, and oh, you first have to select the accelerator. Oh yeah, don't touch that first. Sorry. First you have to select the accelerator. So that's low, and that's fast. I think there should be like a third option as well, but that's missing like a lot of things on this tractor. Maybe I should put a notice on a milk box. Where's my middle accelerator? Have you seen? But basically, once you select that thing, you select that thing, and then to wait like 2 seconds, and the tractor will start moving. If you want to stop, according to the book, you have to push the pedal down and put it only 1 forward. Because if you put it more, then actually that's bad for the gearbox. So even stopping is like complex on this thing. You just kind of can't put the brake pedal and the other pedal down. You have to also know what you're doing with the lever, because if you do the wrong thing, you can cause damage to the gearbox. It's just, you know, overly complex if you ask me. Even if you drive this thing for like 6 million years, I think you can't figure this crap out. I mean, nowadays it's very easy. You just kind of turn the wheel forward, reverse, nothing else. Everything is controlled by computers, solenoids, stuff like that. Now if you ask me, then farmers back in the day, they were the true heroes of the time. Mostly because they didn't survive long, maybe like 20-30 years. And then they were either dead or deaf, or both. But anyway, guys, I think that's everything I wanted to say about this tractor right now. I mean, we're gonna go drive around a bit more. I wanna get the hang of it a bit. But first, I think we should do like a quick service check on it. Just gonna check all the fluids, if there are any leaks. I think I also want to change out that water from the system with something better, and grease everything up, make sure there's no problems. And that looks pretty rough actually. But yeah, let's go fire up that guy and get it off the helicopter pad. It has a new tenant. Hyvä leili. Takes a while before the tractor actually starts turning. Like from there to all the way there is the free bay. Holy hell. Maybe that's why it's clunking so much. A lot better than that thing.
Juokse. Kas sa nüüd läksid mu uue traktoriga?
Jah.
Mina ka tahan välja. Ei ole võta. Veerasta seda.
Hey guys, you just have to see this. This is gold.
Ma jõuan isegi seda üksi. Ma ei vaata kohe läbi sealt mäest alla. Okei, ma on ju sellega seda. Kaks. Ma jõuan.
Okay, so I guess one little downside is that both batteries are basically dead. $12.2. I'm not sure if this is individual battery or, I mean, the system is 24 volts. Can't be that low, right? Oh, 9.6 volts. Yeah. I guess it's individual. One battery is 12.2. Maybe that's even okay. This one though is 9.6. It's kind of on the low side. I'm guessing the 24 volt gets switched over somewhere else. That thing only goes to the starter. Everything else on the tractor is 12 volts. Basically it's zero. It's not showing anything. I'm gonna switch the charger to 24 volts. See if that does anything. Now we started this thing by hooking up 24 volts to one battery. Seemed to work, but I'm not sure if that's correct. Maybe that's gonna fry everything else on board. Okay, I think it's charging now. It's a lot of amps though. It's either very empty or something's about to explode. I don't think it's correct trying to charge that with the 24 volts, guys. The battery just kind of started boiling almost immediately. That usually happens when you have too much voltage on a battery. But you know, I did get something in the gap, so I'm gonna switch it back to 12 volts. Just gonna leave it on there, and maybe we can figure out some of the stuff inside. Oh, dude, I needed that. Holy hell. But yeah, I guess the smash switch works, so yeah, just gonna click it once, it's on, click it again, it's off. So that's good. I'm gonna trying to figure out how the pre-lubrication pump works. I'm 100% sure that it works. The guy tested it before and it seemed to function. Maybe it has something to do with this button. You can't really tell exactly, but that got that little switch there. One shows starter. I'm not sure what we got down there. Maybe that's the oil thing. So maybe put that there and then try to turn the key. Oh yeah, first of that. So we need to wait a bit. Okay. So now we switch it back to the starter and we should be able to start the motor now. Now, because of the design of this engine, what this tractor has, it actually requires a pre-lubrication oil pump. So that's like a small electric pump that you use almost every time you start up this motor. Now it's required by design, because if you don't do that, then you're eventually gonna ruin the engine. What it will do, it will bump up oil pressure to about 1, and then it will lubricate the top end of the engine before you actually fire the thing up. So we're just gonna do that. It works very good, and now we should be able to nicely start up this thing. If the battery manages to turn the engine over, that is. Nope. Not enough in the battery. I think this is the dead battery. I'm gonna take it off later. Maybe we can do something about this. Now I put the charger to the other battery, and this thing is taking in charge, no problem. Quite a bit even. And that one wouldn't take any charge at all. Just a bunch of zeros. So I'm gonna just connect up like a extra battery this side. Maybe this is enough to get it going. Better, but still, I think we don't have enough cranking amps. Yeah, we need more cranking amps. I'm gonna take this battery out of the system, put something else here. I don't currently have anything good, but maybe this is the original battery designed for this machine. The battery hold down clamp seems to match up with this one pretty good. Well, this is gonna be fun. Kurat, aga me ei peagi teda välja tõstma, külje ka tuleb näha. Jah. Oh. Dude, what a future. This was definitely not from the trunk shift. Okay, let's see if it will do nothing. Very good. peal. Anna mulle käsi. Mine pelli kõrvale.
Pellidel peab palju kõrvale või?
Jah, sina istu siia, jah?
Siia. Kuhu sa nüüd sõidad?
Ega ma ei tea, ma ei oska väga sõita sellega.
Ei, siin ma lähen. Võite kinni.
Vaata, ma pean mõtlema natukene. Ei, ma vajutasin gaasipedaali piduri asemel. Ma olen natuke purjus. Rahu, rahu. Ma veel õpin. Kütus sai vist otsa, ma arvan.
No, mis see on?
Ja see jäi seisma lihtsalt praegust. Ma kardan, et kütus sai otsa.
Okei, lähme maha nüüd. Tule. Miks maa peal ei tohi olla?
Tuleme maha, praegust ei saa rohkem sõita.
Ja kütus sai otsa.
Onu peab minema ostma bensujaama ära.
Nüüd, ei?
Jah.
Mine ära, meie mängime nii kaua aitam. Kus sa lähed?
Siin ei tohi mängida, siin kukute.
Kus sa lähed? Ma kastan.
Tuled mulle, ma aitan su alla.
Okei. Hoiad käes. Ma kukun.
Ei kuku sa kuhugi. Hüppa mulle selja.
Tahan ise. Hakkan siin.
Nii, aga minge suure kaarega mööda, äkki traktor hakkab ise sõitma ja siis jätta alla.
Okei, siis ma kardan.
Suure kaarega minge mööda.
Okei, see mõte nii suure.
Jaa. Väga õige. Okay, so this fuel tank has 25 liters roughly. The other one it just has a bunch of rust. You can't even see the numbers, bro. Dude, this has been empty for a really long time. Look at that. Basically, it has like, well, I would say nothing. Maybe something at the bottom. I should be able to switch out to the other tank from somewhere. Technically, there should be like a valve somewhere. Oh, an air leak. Man, I'm sick of those. They're everywhere. But I think that's the one. It doesn't turn anyway. Oh, okay, there we go. It should now be plumbed to the other tank. I'm pretty sure we lost prime at the moment. And if I recall, this thing didn't have like a priming pump. I think this one doesn't have like a priming pump. I can't see anything. I mean, I do have that little bump in the gap, but I'm not sure if that's doing anything. Wait, what? That's interesting. No wonder it's starting. One of the tanks have been disconnected. Sure if you can see, but we got that valve over there and one side is blocked off, the left side. Right now it's only getting fuel from the right side and that's empty. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's blocked off. Kind of weird. Maybe there was a problem at one point. The sucky thing is that I don't have any fuel at the moment. All my bloody fuel tanks are empty. Well, this is embarrassing. Well, technically, if this tank is not even hooked up to anywhere, might as well swipe the fuel. One just needs the proper tool. There's a little steel ball in the bulb. I'm guessing that's what seals it, and I'm thinking the bottom is just filled with mud or something. Damn. Always a mess. I wonder why the fuel line was disconnected. What do you guys think? We should probably investigate later. And this tank actually looks pretty nasty inside. So all the mud at the bottom, so need to clean this thing out, I think. Even if I'm not planning to use it at the moment. Wonder what the other tank is doing. Not terribly bad. Holy moly, this side is pretty rusted up. Look at that. So much crustiness. But other than that, actually the tank is, I would say maybe a bit better than the other one. If only there was a valve to get fuel from one tank to another. You know, I think the valve thing is actually kind of stupid. They should be connected, right? There shouldn't be any valve in between the two. But maybe it's there for a reason. Kidding me? What's that button? I have no idea. And there's some type of a buzzing sound. I'm not sure. What's that about? It has something to do with brake, the gear brake. When it goes away, you feel like pull it there, but it comes back. Or maybe not. Maybe that's like that, then the gear brake is off. But if it's like that, then the gear brake is on. I'm assuming it has to be there. Actually, it would be best if I could spin the tractor around. I think we need a list. I have no idea what to do. Off to the office. Welcome to the office, guys. I already skipped the mumbo jumbo, so we can go straight to the list. Okay, so probably the first thing that we need to do is give it like a good bath, I'm guessing. Start off with some cleaning. Maybe we'll find some treasure as well. Usually that's the case. You know, I find lists easier. Then you can actually keep track what you need to do. Usually if you like try to imagine what you need to do, then you will forget about half the stuff. So putting the stuff down on paper is always a good idea. Especially me. Because I can't even remember the day I was born. The images are very foggy. But you know, I guess next step would be just to check all the fluids. Check all oils and other fluids. And that's gonna be expensive. I guess we can check the air system. What is up with Kirovets and its air leaks? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I'm guessing like... maybe we can skip some information from that. Talking about stuff, no, that's not a thing. Checking tractor moving machine. Looking for leaks, fixing lawn. Fixing lawn. Oh yeah, I had no spaceport back then. Messed everything up. Checking fuel leaks. Checking starter. Cap business. There's basically nothing here. What? Okay, that was a bunch of waste of time. Yeah, let's do a full grease up on the machine. Maybe battery. Yep, one of them is most likely foobar, so you can't really start the tractor properly. Now I'm not sure about the electronics on this machine, but you know, right now it looks like actually most of the stuff works. But maybe there are still some things that are like important, but they don't work, so we need to address those problems. But other than that, we could try to figure out the situation with the gearbox issue where there's a missing gear. But I don't think that's like a priority at the moment. I mean, it's a reverse gear, so it's not really that important right now. Just gonna put it down back there somewhere. That thing there. Oh, it's too big. What? That's way too big. Okay, that works. Oh yeah, that gotta make sure I don't forget about that. You know, out of the top of my head, I can't really figure out anything else that I need to check immediately. I mean, we could check the brakes, but you know, out of the box, everything works on this thing. The machine starts up, it starts moving, it brakes, hydraulics work, air works because brake work. Dude, out of the box, everything works on this thing. Out of the box, everything works on this thing. Dude, I can't believe I paid 2.5 grand for this machine. It's just insane. But you know, maybe there's like problems with the brakes. Maybe some of the chambers don't function, or yeah, let's just check them, I guess. Check brakes, check them. Okay. Very good information. That's better. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the list at that right now. I can't really think of anything else that I need to immediately add on it. I'm just gonna leave this blank. So if we need to, then we can add them later. So let's get to work. Start off with some cleanup, as always. Guys, before I start off, you know, Supermom is gonna arrive in about roughly 4 hours, give or take. I wanna see her reaction. Let's go by.
Home point updated.
Supermom should arrive any moment now. There we go. Supermom's bus. Almost here. Yeah guys, Supermom mostly travels by bus, even when going to work. She doesn't have a car, and she doesn't want one. Who's that? Oh, that's me. Oh man, she's almost here. I better go hide. Best hiding spot ever. And looking at the trees. Probably gonna miss the Kirovets here. I'm betting. Very nice trees over here. Where's my lawnmower? Bro, I think she doesn't even know this. Stop looking at the shed, dude. Wait a minute now. No, nothing? Really? What? Dude, am I tripping or is she tripping? Dude, I think I did not buy a big enough tractor. Noh, tšau.
Tšau.
Kuidas bussisõit siia läks siis?
Hästi. Vaatasin, kus sa oled, et tegid uksi või?
Uksi tegin, jah? Jaa, aga vaata, siin nagu ühe asja tegin veel. Kas siin pildil on midagi valesti?
Oota, mis pilti sa vaatad praegu? Kuhu poole ma pean vaatama?
Ma ei tea. Jah, seal ei ole.
Siin pool on kõik vanamoodi ju.
Siin on kõik vanamoodi, jah.
Lähe minema või?
Ma ei tea, no siin nagu midagi nagu on, aga ma ei osanud sõrme ka selle peale täpselt panna, vaata. Midagi on nagu mäda, on, jah. Is she tripping? What? She still can't figure it out.
Okay.
Noh, matemaatik. Kalkuleeri natukene.
Nägin akent ja nägin ust.
nii ,
mis ma veel pean nägema?
ma ei tea.
Kivi on teise paika pandud.
Kuule, asi kisub natuke imelikuks, äkki peaks haiglasse minema või?
Traktor oli seal eelmine kord ka.
Nii,
Ja,
nii, traktor oli seal,
ja.
nii, sa nagu lähed soojemaks?
Või oli see teine traktor või?
Ah?
Või oli vastupidi või? See oli seal ja see oli all või?
Mis asja sa ajad? Kas mul oli üks traktor?
Sul on 2 traktorit ju.
Nii, kus on 2 traktorit?
1 ja 2 on. Milline remondis oli, seda ma isegi ei tea.
Ma ei mõista üldse. Oota, proovime uuesti. Nii, minul oli 1 traktor. Seal.
Ja.
Nii. Toda mul ei olnud. Kus universumis sina oled olnud, ma ei saa aru.
Too oli too.
Too, jah.
Mina mõtlesin, et see on. Kus sa selle võtsid?
Selle ma ostsin.
Juba või?
Juba ostsin, jah.
Need on ühesugused kollased kõik. Mina sain aru, et millegipärast, et nagu peegelpilt. Selle müüd ära või?
Ei. Esmaspäeval tuleb 3. ka. Võttis sõnatuks kohe.
Ära tee nalja.
Ei ole palju, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Plus
Sa
pop.
sulle siis tõid? Nii kähku, sa ei rääkinudki midagi.
No ma ei tahtnudki rääkida sulle midagi. Ta ajas segadusse.
Nüüd ajas segadusse, nagu peegelpilt.
Too läks üldse meelest.
Too läks üldse meelest, et see põõsal mingi kollane on.
Ja.
Ma mõtlesin, et ühe ajasid nüüd sinna, teise vahetasid ära, aga ma ei teadnud, et see uus on. No siis on väga hästi. Anneli ka nägi või?
Anneli tahtis mulle peksa anda.
Miks?
Aga ma jõudsin eest ära joosta.
Aha.
Man, what an embarrassment. I didn't even notice that there were 2 tractors. She told me that you had a tractor there and you had a tractor here, but she couldn't figure it out that, hey, there's 2 tractors now. What an embarrassment. But whatever. Now, I've been charging these batteries for a while now, and I think that's good. It's been on the charger for, I don't know, like 7 hours now, and it's still drawing quite a bit of amps. The other battery though, now when I connected up the charger to it yesterday, it wouldn't take any charge. It was basically drawing 0 amps. But I still left the charger on the thing overnight, and in the morning it was drawing about 15 amps. So maybe something happened during the night and it started to charge finally. No, it was on the charger for about maybe 18-20 hours, something like that. And I'm pretty sure it's still not fully charged. It needs to be more. It's quite a big battery. 12.1 volts. So it's definitely better than 9 point something. So maybe there's even hope for this battery. Guess we'll see. It seems to be pretty low on fluids as well. Man, these blocks are really stupid. How am I supposed to even turn them? Maybe there's like a special tool for this. Giant Phillips head. I have the same battery on the old Blue. Dude, that thing has been going for like 15 years or something like that. Still pretty good. This is quite low as well though. It's totally empty. Oh, never mind. The water is just so clear. Couldn't tell. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a situation update about the batteries later. Probably gonna charge them for several days. Took a whole 5-liter canister of water to fill both of them up. And let's start with the cleanup, and then we can deal with everything else. Bunch of gloves. That's very useful. Your pressure. There's a lot of goodies here. Hopefully we'll find some gold nuggets. Amp meter. Ooh, we can fill that hole. Very good. Isn't this an injector for the diesel engine? Maybe it's faulty. I wonder what that's for. Mitäs tõmblesin, kuradi pederast, kao minema. Sure ära, raisk. Pani koh, it's raisk. Don't mind the murder. I did not do anything. Okay, I got drive shaft. It appears to be broken, but this is probably good quality steel, right, guys? Very strong. Some type of bushing. You can't quite tell off the top of my head. Maybe some type of a part from a pump. Not sure. Hydraulic lever. I think we were missing one. That thing goes there. Very good. Hose. Interesting. Pipe. Ooh. Vodka. Bloody empty. Modified tool. Ooh, what's that? Some type of a ram head, perhaps. Oh! Drive shaft bolts, guys. These are the original things. Very good. These will go on the other machine as well. They all have the same bolts. And there's just a lot of small bars in that thing. A lot of small bars in this little box. I'm assuming they just kind of drew everything in it over the years and forgot about it. But I'm gonna go through all of them and throw away everything I'm pretty sure I don't need. That's probably never gonna work again, right? That's about everything inside the cab that I could find. Here's a little tip for you guys. Don't hoard stuff inside the cab. Because, one day some asshole will buy the machine and then make a video about it. Then the entire world can see your garbage. Don't do that. But anyway, I'm gonna quickly go through this bunch, sort everything out nicely. Maybe we'll get some useful items, I don't know. No, honestly, not a lot. Mostly just a bunch of crap. I did get a couple of nice pairs of gloves. Spare parts, general spare parts. And some interesting items as well, like copper rings. I wonder what that's for. Then kind of thinking maybe I know what this is. Yeah, I wasn't sure what this was before, but I'm thinking it's some type of that you can actuate something with it, like brakes, for example. Maybe you guys have some ideas. It looks like plywood in the center and with a metal ring. Or maybe it's not plywood, maybe it's some type of plastic. Couple of... Basically I think it's the same thing as that, but it's kind of reversed, you know? There we have the hole, here we have the other part. But you know, it has the same working principle. And you can change the direction through that thing, I'm assuming. The other one, oh, that works as well, okay. Maybe you need to put some type of adapter in the hole in order to make it work. Something like that, perhaps. I'm not really sure. First time I'm seeing tools like this. About this thing though. At first I wasn't sure what this thing was, but my buddy explained it to me that this is basically like a quick attach coupler, Soviet version. Now on the rear end of the tractor we actually have the output for it right over there. So the thing goes there, and then you need to like pull it this way in order to tighten it down so the air can nicely go through to wherever it's needed. Basically it's the same thing as that, only Soviet version. This thing weighs a ton compared to that guy. Holy hell. Made out of cast iron as well. So complex. Look at that, guys, that's actually pretty clever. Got that special bolt over there. It's only threaded from the end. I wonder how they even installed this. No, you can't turn it out. How the heck did they even install this? I can't figure it out at the moment. In my defense though, I just had lunch, so I'm a bit high. Oh man. Well, that seems pretty messed up. Basically, this is the place where the two batteries are glued together for the starter. Everything else on the tractor is 12 volts. But this definitely looks a bit different. Comparing it to the other tractor, for example. Ooh, look at that. I guess nobody's home. But I guess it's the same thing actually. And this might actually work. I mean that part which makes the connection. But this definitely needs to be gone over by a professional. I don't know how to hook this thing up whatsoever. Maybe if I had some sort of a guide. Look at that. Yikes. About the battery situation, guys, though. Now I've been trying to charge these two for the past week or so, and basically that has some hope and that has none. So even after charging that guy for quite a bit of time, we're still getting roughly 9.4 or 5 volts. That means one of the cells is kaput. And I don't think you can really do anything about it. It's just gonna scrap the thing. Now that battery, currently, after charging for like 3 days, is showing 12.6 volts. So it's not fully charged yet. And that's the interesting thing about it. No matter how long you try to charge that thing, it will just keep charging forever. Or maybe three days is not enough. I'm not really sure. But still 12.6 to 12.7, still a lot better than 9. Now, what the full battery should be after you just finish charging, should be actually around 13.1 is this one. So this is a good battery. I think I'm gonna keep this one, but I'm not gonna put it back into this machine. Actually, I ordered 2 new brand new batteries. They're the same size as that one, so 220 amp hours, and the charging or cranking current is 1400 amps. So that's like an insanely high cranking power. That setup should work pretty good with the K701. Now I'm not really sure if it matters, but before different batteries, now that's 1200 amps, but that's 1000. So does that matter when you try to crank it? I'm not really sure how that works out. I think it just uses the 1000 amp and ignores the other one. It's gonna equalize, I guess, but I'm not really sure. My new batteries haven't arrived yet though, so currently I'm not gonna put anything back in the box. I want to pressure wash the boxes anyway, but that's the situation with the batteries. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep that battery for the other Kirovets. I have the exact same battery in old blue, and it doesn't need to be so big on that tractor. I can swap that out, and then I have 2 of the same batteries for the K700. Well, that was kind of weird. So my neighbor called me up and he told me that someone dropped off 2 batteries in front of his workshop. I mean, they're clearly my batteries, but why were they dropped off there? I mean, nobody called me or anything. That just sucks when that happens. I'm gonna go pick them up with the Bobcat. $120 kilograms of battery. About 70% full, I guess. I'm gonna let these guys charge on a pretty low current while I work on the tractor. So by the end of the video, we should have them nicely full. Stay. Yeah, because the cab floor is covered up, I can't really see under the thing very well, but it looks like it has a different shaft between the engine and the gearbox. I'm assuming that's because this engine is longer. And the guy told me that one of the hydraulic pumps is new. Yeah, I mean like new. The thing probably has like 10 hours on it or something like that. I'm not sure which one though. Maybe the red one. That seems like a different color. I don't know. Yeah, as we can see, the parking brake has been removed on this machine. Yeah, maybe we can find some parts for that and install it back. Everything else looks pretty much the same. There's a lot of gunk down here though. I can't wait until I can start cleaning this mess up. Grease bit would be very helpful. And hopefully this gunk will even actually do something. I don't have my hopes up though. Yikes! Man, I already forgot how huge this thing is. Oh man. Dude, painting, washing this thing is just insane. I don't even want to know what the painting is like. Washing alone is already a nightmare. Thing's too big. Dude, I really like that color. I mean, the style of the color. Look at that. I mean, the main paint is just so cracked, but it looks pretty cool. I kind of like it. I know. Is that weird? Paints go bye-bye. And I'm already like 200, 300 liters down. Just in case I'm gonna put that thing there. Don't wanna run out. And it hasn't rained in like 2 weeks now. So I probably need to fill it anyway. But let's just kinda keep going. Okay, so that takes care of the body parts, I guess. Next up, I'm gonna do the cab, and then we'll get down and dirty. But before I do the cab, I wanna remove the bigger seat. It's kind of in the way. Plus, I wanna reposition it a bit closer to the wall. I'm pretty sure it's not original. Maybe it's some type of a bus seat. You know, from a Soviet bus. Smells like shit. I mean, tastes like poo. The smell is even worse. Hell is gonna be a bit later. This is entrance to hell. It's definitely getting better, but no, the crotch is coming off pretty good, but the problem is aiming. I can't really aim the long barrel. Too little ground clearance. I'm gonna try my best though. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can off the machine. I think I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow. It's kinda getting dark, can't see anything anymore. See you tomorrow. What's up, guys? Good morning. At least the weather is nice today. But still we have to proceed. Currently I'm thinking I'm like maybe 60% done. There's still a lot to clean. I mean, I haven't even started the engine yet. But yeah, we're kind of getting better, I would say. This will make the maintenance a lot easier if you can actually find the fittings and corks and stuff. I mean, we're not gonna get the tractor like paint ready, clean. That comes later once I finally buy like a decent hot water pressure washer. But right now I just wanna make it maintenance ready, I guess. Yes, I really like this little washer. It was very cheap, maybe like $300 or something like that. Great value for what you pay. Oh yes, mio. Putsi, see sitt ei lõpe kunagi. Woo! It's getting cold again. But it's summer if you need it. Yeah, I got a strange feeling that my boob is hanging out. Oh! Look at that. Spa. Foot spa. Dude, I think this is the craziest cleanup attempt I've ever done. Even that guy was not that bad. Maybe like 50% better, honestly. This guy was really dirty. Look at all this freaking mud. Look at this crap. Oh, listen. Come here, baby. And this is a really good light. Dargo 3000 mH. Too bad they don't make it anymore. I tried to buy a second one. They changed the design. You know what? I'm gonna go to a spa. No, dude, I'm not kidding you. I'm literally just gonna go change the clothes after the city. I'm gonna go indulge in a spa a bit. See you later. But anyway, check. It took me like, already like 2 hours in, and I just finished the first thing. What the hell? But you know, I think it was worth it. Dude, this guy looks a lot cleaner now. Although there's gunk here and there still remaining. At least a lot easier to work on the thing now. Bunch of paint flew off the thing as well. And especially here. Just gonna give it a pretty nice little pattern, I would say. Okay, well let's start off with the oil business. Do other fluids first. Let's do the coolant. Yeah, that first. Oh, by the way, if you're curious, then about 6 hours and roughly 500 or 600 liters of water. Went to the cleanup efforts. It doesn't look that bad, honestly. A little bit of rust in there. It has a second hole as well. Off the top of my head, I'm guessing it's like a relief valve or something like that. Apparently these things are supposed to have one. Now when the engine was running, I saw bubbles coming from this area. So I'm just gonna guessing here. If this is a relief valve, then I have to make sure it's working. I'm just gonna have to get it unstuck. There seems to be like a rubber seal around, so if I hit it, that's gonna destroy that. Definitely some type of release mechanism. Something moving. Wasn't moving, I can't tell. Man, that guy is just beyond stuck. But I think it was moving for a bit. I have to check the camera, one moment. Dude, I can't understand anything from that stupid 1-inch screen. Dude, on some tractors, the freaking engine is even less stuck than the cork thing on this thing. Holy hell. Radiator relief valve. Yeah, that thing. Well, I don't know about you, but I am way smarter now. What? How is this thing supposed to work? Oh, okay. I think my brain started working finally. So, this spring is pushing the bolting down, which is sealing the area, but if the pressure builds up too much, then it will push the bolt up, compressing the spring and releasing whatnot from here. Yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to operate. And I think I'm not gonna do anything about it. Guess we just have to see and witness if this works or not. I think it does, considering it was bubbling water out of the thing beforehand. I'm just gonna ruin the seal. I'm just gonna put some duct tape there. I think this is gonna take some time. Piss off, wind! I'm working here. It's been like 30 minutes now. Will this ever end? How much water is in this system? Holy hell. I've been just reading the comment section, trying to people die. I found this little comment. This thing over here. Did you get the information? No? Oh, look closer. So yeah, guys, John from Farmcraft did a shout out to me. I'm like 2 months late with the reply, as usual. But if you guys don't know about him, then he basically does the same things I do. He has like a huge community, so I'm gonna put his link, his channel link down in the description. Go check it out. You will not regret it. Guy is a superstar. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get back to work. Look who decided to join the party. Stupid camera, I can't focus for anything. I don't have a measuring tape. Puts kaua sa sitt siin voolab? Mul on pension peal juba varsti. Päev numero 1, man. 30 minutit. Keera kork maha, noh. Palju kiiremini saab see pasa välja. Ei, noh. Vaata porri telefonist. Või ma võtan kommentaaridele vastu. Palju seda vett seal on? Täpselt perses. Ma ei osnudki nii palju seda. No, seda. This guy has more water than my water well. What? The jokes just keep coming, man. Unbelievable. No, I definitely didn't buy enough coolant for this mess. Woo! That's a lot of water. Dude, I think that's like 100 and, I don't know, 20 liters at least. That's just crazy. Twice than what the other Kirovets takes. That's insane. You know, the water looks a bit rusty, but nothing too serious. I think I'm not gonna flush out the system right now. Maybe after a couple of years of using the thing. It's not the worst at the moment. I'm gonna put the same valve back. It was actually clogged partially, that's why it wasn't flowing, and I'm gonna put a little cork on it as well, just in case. At any given moment, like a wild branch might catch the valve and turn it like that. while you're driving around somewhere, then the cork will prevent from the system emptying itself. It's like a little backup, I guess. I bought about 65 liters total, and well, I do have 40 on the other Kirovets, so if I run out, then I can always steal from that machine, I guess. Hear that, guys? There's some type of a douchebag over there making burnouts. Even here, in the middle of nowhere. Praegu siin on nii palju roostet põhjas, et täitsa lõpp. I didn't see before, but dude, the amount of rust in that freaking tank, it's just insane. Idee pole, saab küll. I'm trying to figure out how there's like plumbing inside the tank. There's a lot of rust in there as well. Looks like the Titanic in there. Look at that rust, man. That is literally the Titanic. I think we should do something about it, honestly. But cutting it open from the top probably will not achieve anything. There seems to be like a separate compartment under this thing. Because no, I can't see an opening for that pipe. It's somewhere hidden. I think we should cut like a little opening here. Pretty sure there's nothing under this plate, and then clean out as much as I can. Do the same thing on the other side if necessary. Look at that. What? Look at that, guys. So I'm so glad I did this. That's the intake tube for the freaking pump. Intake hole is almost clogged up with complete Titanicium. Yeah, it's a word I just came up with. Titanicium. Holy hell. Gonna go get a sucker. Yeah, literally got the same situation on the other side. I think I can cut it open. Yeah, shouldn't be any problems. I'm really glad I actually looked before I started cutting because I wanted to cut from the top itself. But this guy told me that there's like an extra little compartment here. Would have messed that up definitely. Very handy little tool. I'm gonna try to remember to put a link in the description. If I don't, then remind me in the comments section, okay? Yo, maybe I should leave it open like that. Perfect ventilation for the system, right? Quite interesting design, honestly. Like, we got that little extra tank inside the main tank. The pump gets its fluid from that hole. It goes through the engine, then it comes back, I'm assuming, through that pipe, which goes in there. I'm guessing it hooks up into that tank through to the radiator, perhaps. Well, this is a closed tank, so straight to the radiator. Fluid goes down there to the pump. From the pump, perhaps to the radiator. From the radiator into the center tank, and then into both of those hoses. Yeah, probably works like that. Okay, that was totally worth it. I'm gonna try to glue the pieces back now. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe in the future I'm gonna take the expansion tank off completely, then I can properly like clean it, paint it. Right now it's just a little bit of paint. We'll keep the mice away. What? gaasi vist otsas nüüd. Yeah, add a food. Yeah, hopefully it will hold. Oh, by the way, I had a bit of change in plans. You know, after finding a bunch of spare parts for the Titanic inside the expansion tank, I decided to change my mind about the radiator flush decision. So now I'm definitely gonna do it, without a doubt. Now, if we had so much rossicles going on inside that thing, there's probably the same situation. You know, we got the same stuff probably somewhere in the water jacket as well, and I definitely need to do like a radiator flush cycle on this engine, maybe even multiple times, in order to clear as much of crap out of there as possible. Can't cut holes everywhere now, can we? But you know, right now I'm gonna fill the system with coolant. I'm not planning to run the thing on that. I just have like a little alternative motive for it. I'm gonna explain the situation in a moment. I just wanna see how much this system will take. I mean, I already did like 40 liters and the expansion tank was empty. So I think I need to go buy more coolant, basically. It's like a last farts from a dying man. Right back at you. I need more coolant. I'm gonna go hijack the other guy's lunch money. Yeah, somewhere there now. Now if it stays there, then that's the amount it takes. So 60, 80 liters. But you know, we have to keep in mind, if this machine also has like a gap radiator, then that system is not filled yet. That system will get filled once the pump starts. So some capacity will go there, definitely. Now about my little alternative motive. Basically, I'm gonna drain the engine oil, but I'm not gonna put anything back in there for at least a couple of weeks. The idea is that I wanna see if coolant starts leaking through somewhere on the engine. Because coolant, guys, coolant is a tricky liquid. It actually leaks a lot better than plain water. Through seals, gaskets, rings, whatnot. So if I change the oil right now and then at some point discover that, hey, coolant is leaking, then that's gonna ruin the oil again. That's my evil little plan at the moment. I'm not gonna fill the engine oil back. I'm just gonna wait a couple of weeks. Well, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go work on the woodworking workshop in the meantime. But I just want to confirm if the coolant will leak or not. And if it doesn't, then we can do the engine flush, take it from there. Oh, by the way, I have no idea how much fluid is in there. I'm guessing like 40 liters. No water in it, that's good. That's very good. At first I wasn't planning to change the engine oil, but I figured that's probably the most critical liquid on any machine, right? So you have to change it. Stupid thing. Tire looks pretty good though. Pretty standard diesel oil, I would say. The guy told me that the engine doesn't smoke or have any problems, so maybe we're lucky here. Okay, so that's 40 liters now. Hopefully it's not over 60 because I don't have any more boxes. Noh, lõpp ära palun now. 50. Oh no. Oh, it's stopping. Very good. I would say about 55 liters capacity. Holy hell. The other guy is only 32 liters. Such a huge difference. Even Joseph is like 34 liters. Even that guy is falling behind. This engine is just huge. Okay, so these two should be the engine oil filters. I'm pretty sure about that. However, I can't find the purifier. You know, the thing that goes around. It did look, but I couldn't find it. We have fuel filters there. There's two of them. Nothing on this side. Starter filters, no idea. Looks like two more fuel filters. What? This thing has 4 fuel filters. Okay, whatever. You can't see the purifier though. Maybe it doesn't have one. Here. Oh, we got that thing over there. Huh, interesting. The fuel sediment cup all the way at the back end of the machine. Okay, so this guy has 4 fuel filters plus a sediment cup, but no purifier. Dude, I think something went wrong somewhere in the factory. Someone had too much vodka on the night shift again. You guys remember when we opened up the other dude's oil filter? I think some of you do. I still have nightmares about that one. I wonder what's hidden here. Maybe it's the same situation, although I don't think so. Look at that. That actually looks like brand new. Dude. There's no gunk in it between the fins whatsoever. I think someone actually replaced this just recently. No rust in it whatsoever. Man, I think I'm gonna put that back. That looks very good. Just in case, I'm gonna open up the second one as well. Maybe they only replaced one. Same situation. Although I think this filter is maybe a bit too long for this. You can see that the spring has kind of pushed it a bit inwards. there's an issue. One valve is missing the spring. And there's a little spring down there which keeps tension on the filter so it doesn't leak through. One has it, the other one doesn't. Oh. There is a spring there. Yeah, there is a spring there. Oh, someone has made like a, not like a original solution. They just, I guess that works as well. It should still work. Yeah, this thing is basically brand new. I don't see the point of replacing it out. I'm just gonna clean it up a bit. Look at that, it cleans up pretty good. I think that takes care of the engine oil filtration setup. I don't think there's a purifier on this engine. At least I can't find one. Let's deal with the fuel filters next. You know, for some reason there's like 87 of them on this machine. What's going on here? If it looks okay, then I think I'm just gonna put it back. This doesn't look the best, honestly, but I'm gonna go quickly look. Maybe I have these fuel filters. Then we can swap them out. But technically I think these are fine as well. But I'm quickly gonna go take a look. Sadly I didn't have anything, but I went to the store and bought something. I'm gonna put a bit of that aviation sealant around the lip, because on both of these bulbs we had silicone, so maybe they're not holding CO very well. Okay, this looks pretty old. No visible tears on it or anything like that, but it just looks very muddy. I'm guessing the second one looks about the same. Yeah. Very minimal mud. Just a little bit. Did I happen to mention at some point that I absolutely love my concrete pad that I built this year? No? Well, I just did like 3 seconds ago, weren't you listening? Dude, I love this thing. I need more. We need to pour more pads everywhere. This is so much better than anything else. Can't do that on dirt, right? Võib-olla oleks parem, kui paned filtrid ennem külge või? Küll saab ka. Ei lähe. Looks like we have a little problem. A very little problem. About 2 millimeters of a problem. The center hole is not big enough. It's 24, but that thing is 26. These are 26, but looks like they have been like pushed wider. Not sure if you can make it out through the video. Someone definitely has hacked them a bit bigger. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Gonna try to make that hole slightly bigger. I mean, there's room inside there, so should work. Plus I only need to make one side. The other side fits nicely in there. What a hack job. Oh man. Pretty snug fit though. Maybe this filter is just wrong. I think it's too long. And it's the same length as the other filter, but there's difference between the two. One has a spring in it, the other one doesn't. So you can't compress that. I think I need to go find a new filter for this. Yeah, I can't install that. Okay, so I'm gonna revisit this later. I'm gonna go try to find the proper filter. In the meantime though, let's just gonna continue on. Let's go check out that sediment cup. Dude, we got a plastic sediment cup. What? I've never seen that before. Usually they're all made out of cast iron. That's interesting. I think that's all we have to do here. Just got to make sure that the bottom hole is clear. Yeah, look at that. I'm not sure if I can do anything about that, honestly. I think I'm just gonna ignore it for now. I mean, in order to properly remove that rust, you probably need to open up the fuel tank, right? Just cut it open from the top, clean it out, roll it back, right? I don't think you can really do anything more about that situation. No, the problem is obvious. The fuel tank is just not filled up. It's kept like half empty or even less, and then condensation occurs inside the tank, which will rust up the tank. I'm gonna put a bit in there though. Okay, so slightly over 100 liters. By the way, guys, I was kind of lying to you about the fuel consumption of this machine. It's actually way more than 40. At peak power, it uses about 56 liters per hour. 56 liters per hour, guys. At peak power. That is not normal. The other tank looks pretty good, honestly. It's basically no rust whatsoever. There's just a little bit of mud at the bottom. But you know, this tank is plumbed off, and yeah, no point putting fuel in it, obviously. But if it's empty, then it's definitely gonna eventually rust up. And technically, I don't think I will need 2 fuel tanks. It's kind of unnecessary for me. I mean, the capacity on that side, like I said, 320 liters. That's gonna last like forever for me. I do have this crazy idea, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Now, filling it with water is pointless, right? It's gonna immediately start rusting. But what about waste oil? I do have a lot of that. That's gonna protect the tank internally from rusting up, right? Definitely. Plus, the thing's plumbed off, so that oil is not gonna get into the fuel system. The line goes right there, and then from there it's just kind of plumbed off. So it's been disconnected from the system. Extra counterweight as well, guys. I mean, 320 kilos if you fill that thing up. I think it's worth it. It's gonna preserve the fuel tank, plus give me that extra counterweight. Not planning to use it anyway. It's sealed off. There's nothing to lose. There's only something to gain, right? How much beer do I have? 550 liters. Definitely gonna fill that up. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I think I have officially lost it now. This is not normal at all. But it's such a good idea. Kus sul kiiret on? Kõik ujub juba siin. Nii. Filling a fuel tank with waste oil, man. Even Borat would be confused. Or there's another scenario as well. When I need to oil a building, for example, some type of food structure, and I just go to the drain plug on the fuel tank, drain oil out of that, and then go oil the building away. Man, I can't wait for that day. That would be insane. Insanely cool, I mean. I'm not gonna fill it all the way to the top though. I figured that's probably not a good idea. I mean, while you're driving around, that thing will slosh around and it will probably leak through the lid. So I'm thinking like 250 liters should be enough. I'm gonna try to do the same to the fuel tank as well. Last two ones, I think. Exactly 250. And spends waste oil management. You know, I think that's a pretty unique counter weight, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I think I should do the same setup on the other Kirovets as well in the future. Let's just unhook one of the fuel tanks, fill it with waste oil, and only use the one tank. I don't think I will ever need two tanks anyway. A little bit of diesel cocaine as well. Basically we're somewhere over there right now. I think that's pretty good. 200 liters. Gonna try to clean that up. So good. Yeah, about 200 exactly. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna go buy more fuel tomorrow, but 3 more things, guys. 3 more things, then I'm gonna wrap up this money bit of a video. Now I wanna finish with the oils and filters and stuff, so still have the gearbox to check, the gearbox, filter, hydraulic system, hydraulic filter, filters. There's several of them there. And final thing, let's check the final drives. Hence the final thing. So let's immediately stop wasting time and start off with the hydraulic system first. Well, go then. Who even needs you? I finished pouring all my oil. Mitte munnigi näe sellest. You know, that yellow stuff is basically like a sunburn on the thing. I don't think you can just clean that off. Well, at least you can see through it now. Still better than nothing. Now, I'm not planning to change the hydraulic fluid, guys. I think it's not worth it. I mean, it looks like that. Looks pretty good. I'm just gonna top it off because it's a bit low. It's basically somewhere there at the moment. There we go. Okay, we can clearly see the line over there. I thought it was only a little bit off, but almost 30 liters low. Midnight Riders. At least someone's having fun. Let's see what's in here. I know. Seems kind of low on the element parts. Like somewhere over there. Pretty sure there should be more. Just look at that. Squeaky clean. I love these types of filters. They're the best. No mod in that one. Yeah, at least that place took care of the tractor. They did maintenance on it. Not sure how regularly, but they have done some work, definitely. No, unlike the other guy, every filter we opened up on that thing, man, I just wanted to cry. Luckily men don't cry. Unluckily though, I'm not a man. If you guys can remember, then I identify myself as an Apache helicopter. Pew pew pew! Dude, I love the future. That's the best. That's a lot better. Guys, do they still make these types of filters these days? Or is it all vapor replaceable? Now I would say that... There's one more. Sneaky bastards. I guess on a plus note, if you have like a quick replaceable, you don't waste any time, you don't have any downtime, if that's important. But you know, that's about it, I think. It also generates more waste overall. I mean, this type of filter you just kind of reuse basically forever until the elements start breaking down. But you know, considering it's made out of 100% metal, then I don't see this thing breaking down anytime soon. I guess why it has more chunk at the bottom is because the fluid enters through the bottom first, and if that starts to clog up, then it starts to use the upper elements, I guess. Kind of makes sense, I suppose. There's quite a few more elements on this filter though, but I think it doesn't really matter. Technically. Okay, let's deal with the gearbox now. Now this time around things are going a lot smoother compared to the first tractor that I got. Basically I just got like a lot of practice on that thing, and I already know like where most of the stuff are. There's like no need to waste on time searching through libraries and stuff. Honestly, that's pretty dark. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, that looks a lot better, honestly. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Kind of overfilled though. Maybe this just filled it to the top mark. Okay, so the oil level is somewhere between this and that. I think that's fine. Oil looks a bit foggy, but I think I'm gonna not change this. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna achieve anything by changing that out. I mean, if it was like gray or completely black or something like that, then yes, but you know, that fog doesn't mean anything. I think that's fine. I'm just gonna put a little bit back which came out. And this is the way this setup is supposed to be, with a cork, not with the freaking hydraulic hose connected to the hydraulic tank. That was so confusing. tractor has floor. Stupid floor. Yikes. Titanicum here as well. Not good. Yeah, a part of me wants to break out the pressure washer again, but about 70% of the other part of me said no. No chance in hell. Maybe in the future somewhere. This thing is the... that thing. First one is the gear in, gear out. And I'm guessing that's... it's largely the same here, I would say. There's like mild differences. If I recall correctly, then the first thing on my tractor was the front or rear wheel lock engagement lever. So this, I'm assuming this is the same thing. The second thing on my tractor was the accelerator. So if it was there, then I had slow speeds, and if it was there, I had high speeds. But here, this lever is different. It serves a different function. Basically, this is the main gear in this gearbox. You know, on the other tractor, the main gear is located somewhere there, but here it's here, I guess. And that's in, and that's out. Now this thing is largely the same, I would say. Maybe it's like turned the other way around, the entire unit. And this thing just kind of goes around in circles. I'm not sure. Maybe it's broken. Yeah, it's the same thing, I'm guessing, but I have nothing connected up to it on this machine. I'm just kind of wondering if it does lock eventually or just goes around. No, that locks. That way and that way. Okay. Maybe it's broken on the other tractor. Perhaps it has something to do with that whining sound. I'm not really sure. The guy told me that it's supposed to be gearbox brake. Maybe I just need to try it out a bit more. Not sure about that situation at the moment. But let's try to get the filter out on the other machine. Very tight margin. Oh yeah. Holy hell. Dude. Now from what I'm seeing through this hole at the moment, this looks like a brand new rebuilt gearbox, bro. Look at that. That looks like a brand new gear right there. That looks very nice. Wow. Everything's so clean. I'm really glad those guys took care of the machine. Dude, I'm not even gonna bother cleaning this. I'm gonna blow through it with some air, but ultimate waste of time. Well, at least I know that it's clean. I can put it out of my mind. And the accelerator pedal seems to be working really hard. Oh, thanks myself. You can see. But anyway, let's check the final drives now. It looks like I'm actually pretty lucky on the tire rotation, or where it needs to be. So that's actually dead center there. This one is up higher, but that doesn't mean anything. I can still take the measurement with my little endoscopy camera. That's also correct, but this one is, yeah, right there. So I can't get like a perfect measurement. I need to rotate this tire just a bit. Oops, wrong way. This appears to be empty. I don't see anything in there. Okay. Finally something off with this machine. I was beginning to think I got the best deal ever. Okay. Maybe the final drives are connected up with the differential. Maybe it's all flowing there. Wait a minute, the differential, yeah. Dude, I almost forgot. I'm supposed to check that as well. I guess the final drives are not the final thing. Sorry, guys. Definitely have to check that as well. Oh. Hakkab tulema jälle. 15 liters. Holy hell. You can't see any oil. Looks about it. Yeah. What do you think, guys? I mean, we're due for due so far. Might as well go full out. Not completely empty, but still pretty empty. There's only like a little bottle at the bottom. This is truly a money bit of a video. But then again, I didn't really pay that much for the tractor, so 2.5 grand for the tractor, and so far about 300 bucks in fuel. Engine oil, about 100 bucks. Fuel, about 100 bucks. Okay, not 100 quid. No, but 100 quid. No, that's 100 bucks. No, that's 100 quid expensive. I don't know, maybe, oh yeah, coolant as well. About 700, 800 bucks so far on liquids alone. But like I said, I didn't really pay that much for the tractor, so far I'm not regretting anything. Four, I guess. All the final drives were empty. Well, except one which had like a little bottle at the bottom. This one's bone dry as well. I wonder why. Is it leaking out from somewhere? I should probably keep an eye on it. Usually there's a reason why a gearbox is empty. Okay, well, let's check the differentials and then wrap up this mess. Looks like a belly button. There we go. Finally some good news. Belly button number 2. Oh, we're good. At least some good news. About this situation though, guys, I don't have the best news. I went to a couple of different Russian tractor shops, and one didn't have anything and the other had this thing. He told me that this might be like a replacement for this thing. But I don't think this will work. I mean, for starters, it doesn't have that spring thing in there. So if it's like even slightly too long, then it's not gonna fit. And here the center hole though seems to match up. I mean, this thing looks like a freaking water filter, but the guy did say it's a fuel filter, so I don't know. Maybe it will fit. It will go there. Yeah, size is correct. And I should be able to nicely lock it down as well. I'm not sure about the seals though. Do I need those? Or O-rings? The old filter also had these O-rings on both sides. But where I'm supposed to put that here? On the rope? That's not gonna seal, I think. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think it will work, but it's not like the perfect solution. Although maybe it's better than this rotten piece of crap. Super sister is like, why do you smell like diesel every freaking day? I always tell her that I have no idea what they're talking about. That's my normal smell. Time to end the movie. So sorry. Now currently I'm not really sure when I'm gonna pick up the work right now. Like I said, maybe about 2 weeks. I wanna go back to the woodworking workshop and try to, continue setting that up. And beyond that, maybe I will come back here, or maybe I will expand towards the tractor shed. I still have a buttloads of work to do there as well. And I'm running out of time. The stupid winter is creeping ever closer. I got buttloads of concrete work that I need to do there. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get back to this. Maybe it's actually a good thing. I'm gonna eat, like I said, I'm gonna keep the oil pan empty, and I'm gonna keep the cork on. So the longer this sits like this, then we'll see if any coolant comes out of the hole once we finally continue with the project. Right now it looks like Darth Vader because you can't see anything. Right now looks about the same, somewhere in the middle, roughly where I left it. So maybe we're good, maybe we don't have any leak situations on this engine. Just in case though, I think I should put like a little note on the steering wheel. Alright, you never know, maybe some clown will try to hijack my Kirovets too, while I'm working on other stuff. So we should probably put like a safety note just in case. Okay. I can even relate to this. This will probably help me as well, because I might forget. Very good. The chimney is about to fall off. Not very good. But anyway, guys, what do you think? Was this worth it? I think so. I think so. A, got it very cheap. B, it's a different model. C, V12 engine. And the C also accounts for D, E, C. What? Plus, consider the fact, guys, if I get that loader for it, we will open up new opportunities for basically everything, because you know, we can have like a giant bucket on it, move dirt or gravel or whatnot around. That thing will be huge, basically. Then we'll be able to put like giant forks on it, lift like very heavy pieces of stuff. Okay, not that heavy, but still. And you know, we could also buy or build like a log grappler for it, so we'll be able to move logs around with it, which might be useful as well. Plus, let's not forget about the most important part. You know, because we have two of them now, we can just, you know, go on a little walk with Mr. Joseph over there. Dude, how fun would that be? And then you put the gear in and off we go. This thing will just kind of drag behind the Kirovets. Maybe that will unfreeze the clutch finally. No, it's still stuck. Yeah, I've been trying a few times, but it basically doesn't do anything. The guy warm up a bit, then I'm gonna shut it down. Look at that. Dude, I have a proper engine to hide from rain now. Look at that. It's perfect. But about Joseph, I think I'm gonna go for a little stroll soon. Just gonna fire it up in gear and go for a walk. I want to make sure that the stupid steering clutches don't freeze up, because apparently if those freeze up, then it's just like 10 times worse. So I want to make sure that those burn. Yeah. But you know, as for this one, I'm gonna go do something else now, which involves everything besides the Kirovets and chauffeur. Bye bye.